Welcome to another episode of Psychotronic Coast to Coast. I'm your host with the most, Skin Slip. That's the other host with the most, Owen Neal. And we are here to reveal our thoughts on Equinox, a 1967/1970 film by Dennis Muren and friends. You'll know Dennis Muren from Star Wars and Jurassic Park and a million other special effects movies. He's a special effects director guy. Anyway, so here, I'll read the back of this because this does a better job of summarizing it than I probably could. Before he took you to a galaxy far, far away, before he brought you face to face with living, breathing, prehistoric beasts, Dennis Muren, the future 9-time Oscar-winning visual effects artist, joined forces with a group of talented young filmmakers to create an homage to the creature features of yore in an eerie monster mash, Equinox. Deep within the woods and canyons of California, 4 teenagers happen upon an ancient book containing the secrets of a strange, malevolent world that coexists with that of mankind. This $6,500 budget wonder, originally called Equinox: A Journey into the Supernatural, was picked up for distribution by producer Jack H. Harris, aka The Blob, you'll know him from that, who shot new footage for the film with writer-director Jack Woods and released it in 1970 as Equinox, which we watched. Since then, the film has gained a passionate cult following and inspired succeeding generations of horror fantasy filmmakers. Alright, so Equinox, it was, and indeed had additional footage shot for it. We watched the long-form version, 1982 cut, by Jack Woods and Jack H. Harris. And Owen, why don't you take us through the story as you remember it, sir?
Alright, but first, they were teenagers?
It was the 60s. 1967 when they filmed this. So sure. They were
like
teenagers.
They were in their 40s.
They looked like they were at the very least at the end of their 20s. But that's okay. That's the way these things go, I suppose.
I guess. Hell yeah, it starts with the end of the movie.
Yes.
So we see an explosion. He looks over in his girlfriend's dead, bloody feet, and he runs out into the road and gets hit by a car that nobody's driving. And he's in the hospital. And then I guess it didn't really.
1 year and 1 day later.
Did it say that?
No, we found that out later, that it was 1 year and 1 day later.
Because it looked like it was the same day, like he was just in the hospital. And
give them a break. This is their first movie. Mistakes were made.
That's where I was confused later. I was like, oh, that was the end of the movie, but I thought he was just wheeled to the hospital and like, he's insane. He's claiming all this shit.
So he's in the insane asylum, and a reporter comes to report on the strange story of this man.
Yep. And the doctor plays a tape of him telling what happened.
And that's the movie we're watching.
Yeah. You have these 4 teenagers.
They look like they're in their late 20s, early 30s. Of course.
They're going to go see some doctor. I don't remember why.
Yeah, what was his name? Dr.
Weather something? Weatherwax?
Weatherwax? What?
It started with a W. Watermelon?
Water something or other? Oh my god, 1 second. I gotta pull it up. I forgot to pull it up, sorry.
I hope it's Weatherwax.
Waterman. Dr. Arthur Waterman. That's his name.
Waterman. There you go.
Yeah, it's David, Susan, Jim, and Vicky. Vicky is visiting from New York. That's all we know. Like separate. That's actually all the only different information we know from this character, is that Vicky is a friend visiting from New York. That's it. Everyone else is just a random generic person. There's no defining traits for any of these characters.
Like David's going to see the doctor. Jim's gonna take his girlfriend on a picnic, and the other girl's just like, "Hey, I'm here from New York. I'm coming too."
Yep.
They show up, and the doctor's house is caved in.
Oh, dude, the director, Jack Woods, played Asmodeus the sheriff.
Yes.
Sheriff Asmodeus.
He also wrote it.
Well, he rewrote it because
Okay. He also might have had fake eyebrows.
He didn't have fake eyebrows. They were just big, bushy, and oh my god, they took a life of their own. These things were like huge, ginormous caterpillars trying to kiss on his forehead. It's humorous as all hell. It's probably the most humorous part of the whole movie. Is this goddamn Asmodeus' eyebrows? He looks so evil.
Of course, yeah, he shows up. He's the ranger, and he's just like, what happened to the guy's house? I don't know. Like, I guess we'll have a picnic then leave, because fuck Dr. Waterman.
But they have their picnic. Oh, they find like the house, his cabin's like imploded.
Yes, I already mentioned that.
Oh yeah, but I mean like they didn't think to go to the. So here's the thing: they find this imploded cabin. They don't think, hey, we should go search to see if he's there. Maybe he's injured or dead. Nope. They go then to the left, find Vicky, who has just randomly walked away from the group, and they find a castle, which we never even get to either.
And then they're like, well, let's go to the castle. And they're like, okay. Forget the doctor. Forget the creepy ranger. Let's just head to this castle. But they find a cave first with evil laughter coming inside. So they're like, let's go inside.
Let's investigate that evil laughter. What? I think I just keep moving on. There's a crazy person in that cave. Time to go.
But they do. They head inside. Is it Vicky sees a skeleton, screams and drops her torch and runs into the old crazy laughing man?
Yes.
They come back to find her, and the old man's like, you come for the book, have it. And they're like, okay.
They take the book. Like, sure, why not? What reasonable adult wouldn't take a book from a laughing crazy old man from a cave?
It's a giant locked book. And they're like, well, let's go have our picnic now. And she's like, hey, I saw a body. And then Jim's like, nah, you didn't.
Yeah, oh my god, Jim, basically, whenever a woman in this movie comes up with any kind of thought, Jim is there to refute it. He's the hero. It's pretty set in its ways from the 1967 era, you know?
Yeah, there's also a very long, overdrawn conversation about, like, the door of the castle is probably on the other side. That's too far. But this way's too steep for the women. Okay.
Okay, so then what are you going to do? Walk there anyway? Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
They never make it to the castle. We never get to see the inside the castle.
No, they get a little closer later, but they don't. Yeah, they never go inside.
Like the idea of going into the castle is abandoned about halfway through the movie.
And it's just kind of off-thrown that. I'll skip ahead a little bit just for this part, where there's like an invisible. The castle disappears, and there's like an invisible force field around it, and then like just on the off, like thrown off thing, he's like, yeah, the doctor did that.
Okay. Oh, and then you know, there's more walking around the woods and shit, and suddenly out of nowhere, Dr. Wildman dives after the book and runs away with the book like a madman for no reason. He just comes out of the woods out of nowhere, grabs the book like a serious commando roll, grab book, runs away. Like he grabs the book mid commando roll. He like dives after the book and commando rolls to his feet and runs away. And they go chasing after him.
We should back up just a tiny bit.
Oh, okay. Did I
on
miss
the
something?
picnic, they open the book and start reading it.
Oh, right.
You're
right.
It's not really hinted at until later, but she's like, he's reading this part that's Latin. He's reading it, and it's like, she's like, oh, that's something from the Bible backwards.
It's the Lord's Prayer backwards.
So I guess that was supposed to tell us that she was super religious, hence why she had the cross. It just kind of randomly shows up later.
Yes, it's kind of it breaks off her neck at some point. And then it's just hanging in her pocket, and then it falls off her pocket late in the movie.
Well, that's when, so the doctor steals it. They chase him, jump on him. He hits his head, dies. And then they, of course, David's freaking out about it. He goes back. Body's gone.
So maybe he's not dead. Huh?
But no, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
And then Creepy Ranger shows back up out of nowhere.
Asmodeus is his name.
I just call him Creepy Ranger.
Is this when he creepily almost rapes Vicky?
A little bit after that, yeah. Basically, they don't want to tell him they have this book. And they're just like, there's a crazy guy in the cave. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, you guys steer clear. And you're like, okay, we'll finish are picnicking leave, and they never go back to their picnic site.
Yeah, yeah. But I think this is where he finds her by herself, and he's all
He
puts some ring
just
on,
now
which
I'd
apparently
say this is clearly
knocks
written
her
so the
out.
director could make hands at the fucking actress. It's really creepy. She's like putting his hands up her shirt and like kissing her like a weirdo, like that, exactly like this. He's like, trying to kiss her with a fucking sideways grin, weird face. Like I don't, yeah.
And he has a magic ring that makes her not remember this.
It's a magic ring where a source of his power or something. It's a demon on his ring. I don't know what the fuck's happening at the ring. It's
It
source
doesn't
of his
make much
power
sense.
apparently.
Later we find out he's fucking Satan, so I'm not sure why he needs a power ring, but
I don't know.
I don't know. It makes her fall down and just lay there so he can try to rape her, but then her cross falls out and he hisses and like runs away.
Yep, pretty much.
And then there's this really long sequence where she's kind of waking up and there's just like insert shots of him like doing his creepy kiss mouth. And then she's like, "Oh, I must have fell down, guys. I'm okay."
Yeah.
And they're, all right.
All right. That comes back later.
Yeah. So I think this is where the monster shows up, right? And
Yes,
kills
the
the guy in
giant
the
ape
cave?
creature. Yeah. The guy in the cave's like screaming and carrying on, and this weird ape creature goes to the cave and gets him. And we get to see the ape creature like swing him around like a rag doll and smack him against a tree and shit. It's actually probably the coolest sequence in the entire movie. This ape going nuts and killing this stop motion claymation guy.
Yeah. The old tree smack. I kind of was hoping his little clay man would split in half with some little clay blood.
Yeah, like gore. There'd been clay gore, but I do have to say this movie is definitely an influence on Evil Dead to an extent.
Yes,
Because the book,
100%.
the way they present the book, the way the book like spins on to screen and opens up at one point, like it's totally. There are references when at the beginning of Evil Dead 2 when they're like, it's the book like Ex Libris Mortis, the Book of the Dead, and like that whole shot, the book flying towards us and opening up. That's in this shot in this movie, different kind of book, but you know it's the same concept, and you can clearly see that this probably was seen by Sam Raimi at an impressionable age.
Yeah. They have a pretty fun fight scene. They're pelting him with rocks. They stab him with a spear. Kills him.
Yeah, puts him right in his heart. Puts the spear right in his heart. It's a good shot, I have to say, as far as spear stabbing goes.
And they're like, let's take a picture of it. But of course it disappears. Plus the guy's camera is like gone.
Yes. I think they left it at the picnic, honestly.
Well, he finds like the film, but no camera.
And he puts the film in his pocket. Like
Yeah,
it's all
that's
exposed
good.
to the elements and clearly not usable anymore, but I'll just take that.
And I believe this is where they're kind of split up. Jim sees a beer can float down the river, so he goes to see if he can find someone, and so the old devil shows up again. But at some point, I think maybe they read more of the book, and so they made these little wooden like circle designs.
The first guy who started reading the book, right, is told not to read the book, and it gets taken away by Jim, and Jim just fucking reads the book for the rest of the fucking movie, even though he told the other guy not to read the book. Thanks, Jim, you asshole. You killed us all.
They find that note in there from Dr.
Waterman,
who's talking about the shit that went wrong, and then we see how his house gets destroyed by a giant octopus monster.
Giant tentacle monster like Cthulhu thingy, like demolished. It's a really cool sequence, to be fair. I mean,
so I have to assume at some point when we weren't really paying attention is when they're like, oh, we make these things and we're protected. Because both the guys have them.
I went pee at some point and it came back and they had these symbols, so I think that's what happened.
Yeah. And the girl had one, but the other girl still had her cross, so I was like, she don't need one.
But she loses the cross at some point.
Yeah. But so yeah, there's so he this is where he finally shows himself as like, I'm the devil. I'll give you anything you want, just give me the book. And Jim just kind of stands there.
He doesn't want anything to do with that shit.
And at the same point, that's where the cross falls out of her pocket, and then she starts doing old rapey mouth and attacks the girl and starts kissing her. I assume that's how he possesses people,
That
one from the other, I
that's what
guess.
makes sense. He possessed Vicky slowly.
Yeah,
Because
but
Vicky
she
was
had the
like acting a
cross.
little weird through the rest of the movie. She's kind of like
As long as
aloof a
she had the
bit.
cross on her, it didn't take over her.
That's
So as soon
right.
as the cross fell out of her pocket, she went.
It's hanging on her hip,
And,
and like the chain's broken, it just kind of fell off.
but Dave knocks her out with his little stick thing. He's like, "Pow!" And she's like, "Ugh!"
Yep.
And then he apparently it's only mentioned, but apparently he runs off and looks for her cross. You gotta keep this shit on
Yeah,
you.
yeah. He apparently was looking for a cross, but I don't remember. We never saw it. It's mentioned in passing.
But the other girl lost her stick thing too when she fell down or whatever.
So I mean, I know a lot of this movie was cut up by Jack Woods and Jack Harris. So I assume that if we watch a 77-minute movie, it'd probably be more coherent. Maybe, maybe it's
Yeah,
less
there's.
coherent. I don't know.
I mean, it literally felt like 2 hours.
It drug. I should have chose the 77-minute one. Just because I'd seen this 80-minute one before, but I'd never seen the 71 minutes. Excuse me, not 77. I can't read.
So Jim shows up, says, "Oh, by the way, park ranger's the fucking devil."
No, all right then. Thanks for the heads up, bro.
And then he puts his little magic ring on again. He's like, "Brown Hulk Lizard Man."
Yeah, I expected like Susan or Vicky to have the ring at some point and put it on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they start fighting another big beast, and they go through the invisible wall.
Oh yeah, they discover the invisible wall and they're like throwing rocks at it, and it's a
Oh yeah,
really simple in camera trick where they split screen it.
yeah.
But
It was
yeah,
obvious because one side was more green than the other side.
yeah. I think it was supposed to be obvious.
But yeah, so Jim hands the book out. David hands the book to the girls. He goes in to save Jim, finds Jim, and he's like, "Oh well, we gotta go." But clearly, it's not Jim. Jim's been killed by the devil in the invisible wall.
Yep.
You see him later, like fainting, and then he's like, clearly not him. He's got like black around his eyes and stuff. And then David's like, "You son of a bitch." But first, when he finds him, he's like, "We gotta go." And then the fake Jim grabs his like shirt, like, "Help me," but he's really crushing the thing under it. So, again, I don't get why he didn't just always wear an outside shirt. He kept always putting it away.
I don't know.
Just
Just
always display it so anything
at
evil sees
one
it.
point he shows it to Asmodeus, and Asmodeus like convinces him to put it back. I'm like, you moron! I'd keep that shit out.
But David had it tucked away, so when the devil disguised as Jim, because he easily just crushed it under the shirt when he wasn't paying attention.
Yep.
I'd be covered with those things.
They'd be hanging everywhere.
So yeah. So then he tries to fist fight the devil, which doesn't work out that well. And then he actually turns into the full-on flying devil, which was all stop motion clay. Something wrong?
Nope.
Oh.
There's people in the chat, so I was thanking them for watching.
But it's the devil. Stop motion.
We don't really
Flying.
like field questions for the podcast, so sorry guys. We just record live so you guys can watch us babble about the movie before we edit it down. Anyway, so as we were saying,
Devil. Flying devil.
oh right, the flying devil's like flying around, and that's a really cool effect. It's like the thing that I remember the most from this movie. And they're like running through the woods from it, trying to get away, and then they hide behind this tombstone shaped like a cross. That devil flies down and turns into a big poof of fire. That's
Which
it.
apparently kills the girls.
I guess. It's never really stated.
And then this Grim Reaper looking thing pops out and says, "And 1 year and 1 day, you're fucking dead, David."
You will never escape, David. In 1 year and 1 day, you shall die.
And then it's the beginning of the movie again with him being hit by the car and all those shots.
And then we get back to the reporter, whose name, I forgot to mention earlier, is Sloan. Reporter Sloan, played by James Phillips.
Who's the doctor?
Dr. Arthur Waterman by Fritz Lieber Jr.
No, not that one. The other
Oh, the
doctor.
doctor. Oh, Patrick Burke,
Uh,
some
so
guy.
yeah, the reporter is just like, but it's been 1 year and 1 day. That's weird. I'm gonna take this cross. And as he's heading out, there's the girl.
Now, here's where I expected like an insert shot of her, like with the evil demonic ring on or something, to imply that
She's
the
like a
devil was
ghost.
coming to finish the work, right? But it's still implied, just not as heavily implied,
Yeah.
because she was taking over and stuff. So
I don't know. I was really hoping when the reporter walked out with the thing in his hand, like, that's weird, and puts it in his pocket, that the hospital just exploded.
yeah,
Just out of nowhere.
that would have been a great ending to the movie. I'm like, well, that was worth it. But no, didn't explode. Just fades to black. The end? Question mark.
So I guess obviously the girls didn't die because she's there. I'm assuming the one with the blood on her leg was the other one,
I think the one girl got killed by the other girl who was possessed. I think
Jim's girlfriend.
I think the
Yeah,
possessed girl is the one who
just
survives. But
it's just the explosion. He looks over and you just see like some bloody legs.
yeah, it's not really super clear.
Now that I'm thinking, in the very beginning when the guy was talking, he's like, we went back later and we found, Jim and the girl dead and the other girl was missing, I think is what they said.
Oh, see, I missed that part.
I think
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it said that. Like, oh, couldn't find the other one.
but I mean.
Because first they just thought he was straight crazy, like all this happened, and then they're like, whatever, and they're like, oh, I guess something did happen. There's some dead people.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I liked all the stop motion stuff,
I really
and
liked
like
I really
overall,
liked the model work on this. It was really cool, especially since these guys are like 18 and 19 and 20. They're like young kids when they're working on this movie. The people making the movie. So there's a lot of heart involved in this. They just really wanted to make a fun movie.
and like I thought this, like the idea was solid. The book and all that stuff and the devil, but like I don't know, it just dragged and none of the actors really had any emotion ever.
Yeah, the Jack Woods, Jack Harris padded out stuff really hurts this movie. I think. I kind of am interested in seeing the 71-minute version. It's
like like David, like
10 whole minutes shorter, maybe.
never showed any emotion except for when he was crazy in the hospital. He screamed pretty good, wanting his cross.
Yeah, I think it's that's because it comes down to like they're newbie actors. This is like their first movie. But
It's
yeah,
just like
the
the
acting's not
house
too
is caved
solid.
in.
Not too
There's a
hot.
castle over there.
Yeah,
This guy's laughing crazily. We'll take the book.
yeah.
It's
It's
like,
not, there's like there's no he has no range. That would be the phrase you're looking for. He's got no range. He's got one note, and that's talk about things that are obvious note.
although he does kind of look like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And I still have no idea why they didn't just at least investigate the collapsed cabin to make sure he's not dead or something
Like as
inside
soon
or
as they
trapped.
saw that, she'd be like, "Oh shit!" And they should have like rushed in there.
Yeah, and like
And
at
like,
least
"Oh, he's
check to
not
make
in
sure he's
here."
not trapped, because he could be stuck on an I-beam, waiting for someone to show up and save him,
And there could have been like tracks leading out, and like, "Oh, he went this way. We better look for him." And hence why they would go. Like there was no point of the castle other than like we could do a pretty cool effect
I
shot.
bet the castle was added by Jack Woods. I bet. I'm really curious to see if that's true or not.
I just assumed one of them was like, "I want to work on my matte paintings." They're like, "Nah, put a castle in the background."
I think the old guy in the cave is added.
Who was the dead guy in the cave?
Oh, the random skeleton. I don't know.
He wasn't really even a skeleton. He still had skin on him.
Did he really? Oh, Jesus. I missed it.
He, like,
So.
I think he had worms on his, like, coming out of his eye sockets. Again, it's probably just someone like, I always wanted to make a corpse. Yeah, go for it.
Go for
Put
it,
it somewhere in there.
Exactly.
Everyone just wanted to make a cool effect, and they're like, we'll figure it out.
Everyone wanted to add something new add something to the movie. It doesn't always work well. It's not really congruous.
I hope that's how it really worked. Like, I really want to make a matte painting of a castle. Like, okay.
All right, go for it. We'll figure it out. And that's cool too. I could get behind that kind of like kit bashing of a movie. Just cobble the pieces together until they fit. I don't know. I kind of like this movie, but it does drag in the middle so long. It takes There's like
Yeah.
25 minutes I'd cut out of this movie. No joke.
There's so much that could have been cut out.
Yeah. And they just, like, halfway through their fucking picnic, they just abandoned it. And the sheriffs are like, you better not litter. Like, yeah, we'll clean up our mess. And they never get back to the mess. Never. It's still out there somewhere in Rancho Cucamonga Canyons. It's just out there somewhere.
Fuck him. He was the devil anyways.
It's true. Oh, my favorite part is Jim or the other guy kicks a beer can into the water. And then Asmodeus shows up. Like, what did I tell you about keeping things clean? You're like, oh, shit, son.
But also, I'm the devil.
Yeah, right.
I was hoping it was going to be some weird thing like the can, because he sees a can floating on the river. So I was hoping it'd be some weird time shift where that can he kicked is the one he saw.
I feel like that is what it was supposed to be, but wasn't very clear.
Also, apparently beer cans in the 60s and 70s look like Red Bull cans.
Yeah, I made jokes like that looks like a Red Bull. That's crazy. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
I like the old tops that they used to have on those.
The weird pie-shape opening.
Yeah, and then the older beer cans used to come with like the old school can opener. You had to like put a hole on each side so you can drink them.
Yeah, you had to pop a hole in, otherwise it would just kind of bubble out all weird and shit.
I actually have a Pepsi can, 75th anniversary, that has one of those weird teardrop shapes.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, this movie, what do you rate it?
Oof. 2.
I think a good solid 2 out of 5 stars, maybe 2.5. The effects are really cool, but that's really all the movie has going for it.
Like the fight scene with the first monster was so dragged out. There was like 5 minutes of him chopping down a branch to make the spear.
Yeah, it's a bit long.
Not even to mention the 3 minutes opening of just names and like a thing spinning.
Well, that's because it's an old film and they do all the credits at the beginning, to be fair. That's a pretty common thing back then. They do all the credits at the beginning and then show the movie. So, it's not until the 70s when they start changing it.
Got it.
I agree, I'm just saying. And the opening had really nothing to do with the rest of the movie. The credit sequence was just kind of like, here's some clocks and shit.
Also, then the end where they re-showed the entire beginning again, like even like the shots of like the pedals pushing themselves. Like, yeah, we get it.
We saw this an hour ago. What the fuck? Literally.
Like him stepping over the railing and being hit by the car would have been enough. Like, yes, we get it.
Yeah, him run up and then get hit by a car. Like, oh, it's full cycle. Okay, full circle. But no, gotta watch the whole thing all over again.
You cut a little there and add a little bit. 1 year and 1 day later, you know, in that scene, because it looked like he just was wheeled into the hospital after being hit by a car.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Equinox. A 2 out of 5 star special effects extravaganza. So what are we watching next week, sir?
If I can find it, we're gonna watch Vibrations. We've been sitting on it for too long.
Here, let me grab that out real quick. We got Vibrations is the his pick here.
Randomly discovered it. We both immediately bought it.
We found this. I don't know who found the trailer. Who found the trailer? Was it me or you?
I saw somebody who did a review on it. I only saw the name of it. I looked it up and I sent you the trailer.
Yeah, and then I watched this trailer and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's about this guy who loses his hands, and then like it's like
hands.
Yeah, but it's like like the first minute and a half of the trailer is like a drama. And then out of nowhere, he gets these fucking hands and so becomes like a musical artist and shit. Like, oh my god. It's like, there's like, the first minute of the trailer, this is him like, oh, I'm useless. You know, feeling bad for himself and shit. Oh, I forgot to change the title of this episode. I apologize, guys, for on Twitch. Anyway, so Vibrations looks like it's gonna be fun for next week. So, yeah, it's Christina Applegate and James Marshall, and this is a made-for-TV movie by Dimension. So, yeah, Michael Pasornik. I don't know who that is, but he wrote and directed it. In this high-energy story of passionate love and personal redemption, Christina Applegate stars as Anna Mika a manager at the hottest dance club around. There, by chance, she meets TJ, a down and nearly out young musician struggling in the aftermath of a brutal attack. As they develop a mutual respect that eventually grows into something far deeper, you'll cheer as TJ, with love and support of Anamika and some great new friends, finds the inner strength to triumph over his tragic past and become a musical legend. All set to the hot musical soundtrack, vibrations as uplifting, energetic entertainment you won't want to miss. This tells me nothing about the movie, but that trailer is fucking epic. So, that will be our next movie here in Psychotronic Coast to Coast. So, any last words, Owen?
Nope.
Alright, guys. We'll see you next time in Psychotronic Coast to Coast. Peace!